armed forces once again assure the military that I will continue to ensure appropriate funding for our armed forces.
Federal government recommits to protecting Nigeria's sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Nigeria is now more determined than ever through this administration to bring this problem under control.
Security agencies get down to understanding the dynamics of terrorism. And the political terrain starts bubbling. From the next level to the policy document, the parties begin strategizing. A warm welcome to Network News. I am Joy Usiago. Reading with me tonight is Elizabeth Omori in Lagos, and Abdullahi Mohammed joins us from Kaduna Network Center. Now, sequel to the raging controversy between the organized labor and the state governors over the proposed national minimum wage of 30,000 naira, President Buhari has granted audience to a delegation of the Nigerian Governors Forum to chart a way forward. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports that the chairman of the forum and governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar, led the governors to the meeting held behind closed doors. The meeting, which lasted about an hour, was also attended by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige. Details of the discussion were not made public, and efforts by newsmen to hear from any of the participants proved abortive. It will be recalled that the Amapepo Tripartite Committee on the review of the national minimum wage submitted its report to President Buhari, recommending 30,000 naira as the new minimum wage. President Buhari, while receiving the report, expressed delight that the committee successfully completed its assignment in a peaceful and non-controversial manner. He said the federal government would transmit an executive bill on the matter to the National Assembly for consideration within the shortest possible time. However, state governors have individually and collectively expressed reservation over the proposed national minimum wage figure, saying they are not in a stable financial position to pay. Now, for a bit on security, the federal government has promised to sustain efforts at modernizing the nation's armed forces through enhanced budgeting in the quest to meet constitutional demands of protecting integrity. President Buhari made the promise at the 2018 International Air Power Seminar organized by the Nigerian Air Force. State House correspondent Adam Sambo reports.
The seminar with the theme Air Power in Irregular Warfare, a framework for understanding and responding, is an opportunity for the nation's air power practitioners to draw from the experiences of other armed forces that have either previously or are currently engaged in counterinsurgency operations. This is aimed at adding value to the nation's counterinsurgency efforts. President Muhammadu Buhari, who commended the Chief of Air Staff for the worthy initiative, described the seminar as timely and appropriate as the fight against Boko Haram has challenged what he called the service's doctrine, tactics, training, order of battle, and force protection architecture of the nation's armed forces.
Let me, as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, once again assure the military that I will continue to ensure appropriate funding for our armed forces in order to enhance capacity building and deepen professionalism. We are also committed to ensuring that our armed forces are appropriately equipped to deal with the contemporary challenges of a globalized world, of which insurgency and terrorism have become of greatest concern.
He said Boko Haram insurgency must not only be brought to an end, but other challenges of security across Nigeria for a meaningful living by the citizenry.
The insurgency sucks in considerable military resources, but invariably its root causes are political and civilian in nature. This administration is therefore committed to diversifying our economy. This is to ensure that we build an economically prosperous, politically stable, socially just, and truly democratic Nigeria, where security of lives and property is guaranteed.
While appreciating all the countries represented at the seminar, as well as Nigeria's partners for supporting the counter-insurgency operations in the country, the president charged the armed forces to maintain efficiency and professionalism in carrying out their constitutional duties. Both the Minister of Defense, Mansur Dan Ali, and the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, take pride in the achievements recorded by the Nigerian Air Force and indeed the armed forces in the fight against terrorism and insurgency, as well as protecting the nation's integrity, which they attributed to the unprecedented support and assistance by the Buhari administration.
The seminar perfectly fits in the Ministry of Defense vision of ensuring the much-needed synergy and cooperation, not just within the services, but across the ministerial boundaries in support of our national security operatives.
The focus of the Nigerian Air Force is to develop the capacity and capability to efficiently engage a three-block war on a grand scale, where humanitarian, peacekeeping/stabilization, and combat operations are conducted simultaneously.
More than 10 countries are represented at the seminar, expected to last 3 days. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And still talking security matters, Nigeria's security agencies are to benefit from a counter-terrorism protective security training organized by the Office of the National Security Advisor in collaboration with the United Kingdom. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the program is for security managers to understand the dynamics of terrorism.
Threats to violent extremism is said to undermine fundamental freedoms and national values enshrined in the Constitution. To effectively address the twisted retrogressive ideology of terrorists, the Office of the National Security Advisor launched a policy framework and national action plan for preventing and countering violent extremism. This training for security coordinators is aimed at enhancing intelligence gathering and sharing among relevant agencies to facilitate proactive approach to threats rather than reactive.
The dynamic nature of terrorism has accounted for the reason why tackling the menace has posed a challenge to nations worldwide. However, without mincing words, Nigeria is now more determined than ever through this administration to bring this problem under control.
Participants are expected to fulfill the theme of the training, identifying potential threats and evolving appropriate mitigation measures. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has lauded Nigeria-India relations, describing it as not only worthy but mutually beneficial to the two countries. He stated this while exchanging views with the outgoing India High Commissioner to Nigeria, Mr. Nagabhushna Reddy. State House correspondent Adam Sambu completes the story.
The Indian High Commissioner, Mr. Nagabhushna Reddy, was in the State House on a farewell visit after his tour of duty in the country that lasted 2.5 years. President Muhammadu Buhari, who had his military staff college training at Wellington, India in the early 70s, appreciated the way and manner the Asian country of over 1.2 billion people is effectively managing its multi-party democracy. He said despite the huge population, India is also taking care of the country's security and economy efficiently. President Buhari said Nigeria will continue to work with India towards deepening their relations in critical sectors of the economy for the benefit of both countries and their peoples. The outgoing Indian envoy, Mr. Nagabhushan Reddy, described as pleasurable and rewarding his tour of duty to Nigeria, saying he is departing with heavy hearts. He said Nigeria is a country of great diversity and limitless opportunities. The High Commissioner described as gladdening that the relationship between the two countries had been deepened in recent years, with India becoming Nigeria's largest trading partner. He commended the economic diversification policy of the Buhari administration and expressed optimism that India will remain Nigeria's dependable ally in development. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And still staying with President Muhammadu Buhari, he has described the next 4 years as quite significant for Nigeria, as the people have a clear choice to either sustain the building of a new Nigeria or return to the nation's tainted past that only favored the opportunistic few. This was at the formal launch of the APC campaign manual, as well as the next level document, which captures the aspirations and projections of the governing party for the next 4 years. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president made a case for peaceful and decent campaigns by all candidates ahead of the general elections.
4 years ago, we promised Nigeria's real change.
The road may have been difficult, but President Muhammadu Buhari said the governing APC has in the last 3.5 years laid the foundation for a strong, stable and prosperous Nigeria. He said although the foundational works is neither glamorous nor often visible, but given the depth of decay, deterioration and despair that Nigeria had sunk into, such works are vital towards achieving the kind of country everyone desires.
We are certain that these past few years have put us in good stead to press on the next level of building an even stronger nation for our people.
The governing APC, he said, has clearly delivered on its pre-election promises of securing the country, fighting corruption, and resuscitating the economy through diversification.
We implemented a responsible and transparent fiscal plan for the challenging economic times that saw us doing more even with lesser oil revenues. Grand-scale corruption perpetrated at the highest level of government is now a thing of the past. The nation's wealth is now being invested in capital projects to expand infrastructure and connect people, goods, and opportunities by rail, road, and air. Through the National Social Investment Program, we are providing direct support to over 13 million Nigerians who need it.
Despite the giant strides, President Muhammadu Buhari acknowledged that there is still much to do and the next level of efforts will focus on job creation across the various sectors, and the people that are still in poverty will have a direct way out and up through the expanded social investment programs, as well as an end to the farmers' herders conflicts being cynically manipulated by political actors.
Perhaps our biggest ambition yet is the overhaul of our education sector. Every child counts. We will remodel 10,000 schools every year. We know that to succeed, moral integrity and conscience must continue to form the dominant character of our nation and its leadership.
Nigeria, the president said, more than ever before, needs a stable and people-focused government to move the development of the country forward.
Join us on this journey to the next level of a prosperous, strong, and stable Nigeria. The achievements and projections I have enumerated above are just a summary of what we have done and what we intend to do in our next term. If Nigerians graciously give us a second term mandate.
And as INEC formally blows the whistle For campaigns to begin, the president called for decorum on the part of political actors.
I urge all candidates and supporters of all political parties to go about the campaigns peacefully and decently. We have no other country but Nigeria. Let us not set it ablaze because of politics or sectional interests.
The high point of the event was the launch of the campaign manual containing major achievements and experiences to guide supporters of the APC, as well as the next level document capturing the aspirations and projections of the governing party for the next 4 years. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In the meantime, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has started his campaign for the 2019 election with the unveiling of his policy document this Monday. Under the banner of his campaign slogan, "Let's get Nigeria working again," Atiku Abubakar says it can only be possible with the cooperation of Nigerians. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The former vice president and PDP's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar's policy document is basically centered on 3 key task areas of job creation, restructuring the polity, and getting Nigeria working. He says if elected, he will be proactive in attracting investments and supporting the 50 million small and medium-scale enterprises across Nigeria for the purpose of doubling the size of the country's GDP. This investment, he adds, will create a minimum of 2.5 million jobs annually.
When I was vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, from 1999 to 2007, I chaired the National Economic Council. That gave Nigeria her highest and most consistent GDP growth of over 6% per annum.
Meanwhile, a visit to the presidential candidate's campaign office shows the presence of various support groups on ground to identify with his aspiration. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
We pause for some messages now. The news continues after this time out. Stay with us.
This used to be me. But that was before I got the perfect bag. It's handy and easy to use. All I need in one compact space, just like my MTN Extra Value plan. I used to get one plan for my calls and then try to remember which data plan worked for me. Roaming was a totally different ballgame. Not anymore. I've got the MTN Extra Value all-in-one plan. If you're a data buff like me, you get extra data with some talk time. And if you like to make calls, you get extra talk time with some data. And when I'm abroad, I automatically browse, chat, and call right on the same plan. MTN Extra Value was made just for me.
More of data or calls, whichever one you prefer. MTN Extra Value is made just for you.
Guinness is packed with B vitamins to fuel your greatness.
How far now?
My guy, there's one fashion show I'm organizing. You want show?
For sure. Where to? Cheap white photographer.
To be all fashion show. Not sure if that's your thing.
See question. You know I love fashion.
And it's on the beach at night.
I love the dark. I hardly even turn on the lights at night.
Also, one of the designers wants to incorporate a lion.
Yeah. Smart thing. I love animals.
Q for your hustle by Google.
Hello, Niger.
It's a beautiful day.
And now it's time for some amazing music.
Don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back.
Where is it?
What are you searching for?
With Glow Yakata, for every recharge, they'll give you 22 times the amount to call all the networks.
What? So if I load 100 Naira, they will give me 2,200 Naira?
Exactly! And that's not all. They're also giving up to 6 gigabytes of data every month for 6 whole months.
Wow! That's incredible!
Yes!
Are you sure? 22 times on every recharge?
Yup.
Found it! Found it! This is it. Yes!
6 gigabytes data every month for 6 months and 2,200 naira bonus for every 100 naira recharge. The core all networks where talkers and browsers live. The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
Nigeria now still one of the few countries in number of pregnant women still they die from things we're not supposed to kill them high pass. Thank God for things like family planning or childbirth spacing, where they help reduce number of women where they die because of say they carry belle. When we plan and put space between the times we they carry belle, our mama and pikin them no go they die anyhow. If all the women we need within the fit use they control how they take get belle, what you would they call contraceptives, don't go fit prevent the death of about 1.5 million pikin them and 31,000 women inside the next 10 years. Our leaders una need to settle this matter by making sure say family planning services reach every woman inside we country. No woman supposed suffer or die because she want born pikin. We must join hand and get it together, make our future for bright. Now Federal Ministry of Health, they bring on this message.
Enjoy free 250 MB every week just by recharging on Airtel Recharge Plus. Dial *479# to know more.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
To anyone who ever pushed me to go further.
Come on, one more.
To anyone who ever gave me a hand up. To anyone who ever taught me anything I ever learned. To those who work together to set the bar higher. To those who give me the energy to go further. This is my team, and my team makes me.
2019 elections are coming. Do not let yourselves be used by politicians. Do not allow your emotions go haywire. Do not be a tool to cause mayhem. No election matter is worth the destruction of lives and properties. Be wise. Don't be a violent Nigerian youth. Don't get involved in any act of violence. Your future is at stake. Shun violence during elections. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Thanks for staying with us on 19 Network News. For Nigeria to achieve her full potential, leaders such as President Muhammadu Buhari are needed to make the country work for the greater good. Pastor Felix Liberty of Divine Revelation Church stated this during an interview with NTA News in Abuja. Speaking on current challenges in the country and how the present administration is working to improve the socio-economic well-being of Nigerians, Pastor Felix says the citizens must support the federal government for any meaningful development to take place.
It's not a wicked leader. Mr. President is not the president that will take Nigeria as his own home property. It's not. What he's trying to do right now is trying to tighten all the loopholes where corruption used to engulf this country. It's not so many of us that love that kind of a thing. So what he's trying to do is that this country must stand. The youth of this country has a right to live.
He observed that the ongoing fight against corruption is among pragmatic policies that make President Buhari credible and eligible to take Nigeria to greater heights. The Supreme Court says it will reconstitute a panel to hear a suit seeking to remove the governor of Bauchi State, Muhammad Abubakar, over a pre-election dispute that emanated from the All Progressives Congress governorship primary in 2015. The appellant, Abdullahi Tanko, is challenging the emergence of Governor Muhammad Abubakar as the APC governorship candidate in the last general elections. In the ruling of five-man panel, Justice Bode Rhodes Vivo says counsel to the parties will be notified when the panel will be reconstituted to hear their appeal.
Dismissing the claim of the plaintiff in the lower court, in the Court of Appeal it won, and then we appealed here, and then the Supreme Court affirmed the judgment of the trial court. Now, the plaintiff has now come back to say that the Supreme Court should overrule itself.
When the appeal came up for hearing in the month of May, I personally moved the court that the court should invoke its powers under Section 22 of the Supreme Court's Act and hear the appeal, hear this case as if it is a court of first instance.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian police force says it will embark on robust and elaborate security arrangements to ensure adequate security and safety during campaigns and rallies nationwide. Force Public Relations Officer, Acting Deputy Commissioner of Police Jimoh Moshood, stated this at the force headquarters in Abuja. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
Consequent on the release of the timetable and schedule of activities for the 2019 general elections by INEC, the Nigeria Police Force says it is not leaving any stone unturned as security has been beefed up in the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. The force says it will not condone any form of political thuggery, intimidation, demonstration of violent conduct, and political clashes that can jeopardize the prevailing peace in the country.
Has involved other security and safety agencies in those states. It is co-chaired by ANEC REC. The CP of the command is the chairperson. They will look at area where deployment are being done and look at how to fine-tune all other action plans and security arrangement for a peaceful campaigns and a peaceful general election, 2019 general election as it comes in.
The Nigeria Police Force is calling on all political parties to abide by the Electoral Act 2010 as amended, INEC guidelines, and play the game according to the rules. From the force headquarters in Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Nigeria carted home most of their awards at the 15th Africa Security Watch Awards held in the Gambia. Chimdima Ndubisi reports that Nigerian governors, security operatives, and the traditional ruler of Okuri Eleme community were honored alongside the Gambian president for their roles in maintaining security on the African continent and region.
Since security is fundamental to the unity and development of the African continent, member countries have taken it upon themselves to build security architecture that ensures peace and stability in their domains to boost socio-economic integration of the region. Some countries, in carrying out this mandate, have injected certain levels of excellence which caught the eyes of the Africa Security Watch. So, at its 15th awards edition in the Gambia, the red carpet was rolled out to celebrate these governors, police officers, and community leaders for their outstanding performance in governance, security, and safety. Nigeria came tops in the Golden Star Award.
Anambra is recognized as the safest state in the country.
In Lagos, in the last 1 year, the crime rate has gone down by well over 40%.
President of the Gambia bagged the Golden Star Award for exemplary national service in West Africa. While the king of Okoreleme community in Rivers State was awarded Peace Ambassador for his role in promoting unity and security in his locality.
To ensure that we have peace in my community, and when there is peace, economy of the people will boost up. I start to advocate to talk to my other colleagues that we need to rise up to fight insecurity in our domain. And I'm still pleading to all Nigerians that everybody should join hands to fight insecurity.
It was also recognized that to maintain security and ensure conflict resolution, security agencies in the region should exchange information.
And then enhance border surveillance using science and technology.
For the recipients, the award is a motivator to do more. Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, normalcy has returned to Yelwa Takani community of Bauchi metropolis following Sunday night's clash that claimed 3 lives and left many injured. Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad reports that the presence of security personnel has restored peace, while Governor Muhammad Abubakar called for calm as government is in control of the situation.
A visit to the communities affected by the violent clash reveals that officers and men of the Nigerian police force and sister agencies were fully on ground to forestall its escalation. Bauchi State Commissioner of Police Sanusi Lemu confirmed that his men are working round the clock to bring the perpetrators to book.
We are equal to the task to make sure that peace is properly maintained, and any hoodlum that decides to take law into his hands will be dealt with decisively. I've directed my men not to take this issue lightly, and we are doing it in conjunction with other sister security agencies.
Also at the scene of the clash, Governor Muhammad Abubakar interacted with people of the communities, where he assured them of government intervention to prevent such occurrences. But 70 people have already been arrested in connection with the clash. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad, NTA News.
Now, more than 30 countries showcased their unique cultural identities at the opening of the 11th edition of the International Arts and Crafts Expo in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information and Culture, Grace Isu Gekbe, who represented the minister, said this administration has identified the sector as one of the pillars of its diversification policy. She commended the efforts of the National Council for Arts and Culture towards supporting the sector.
The plan initiated by this current administration highlights the Nigerian creative industries have great potentials to create jobs and generate foreign exchange earnings for us.
Promoting our culture, we're promoting peace, and everything you see here is an exchange and an understanding. And this is
CBN governor to look into the possibility of creating specific intervention funds for this sector. Boost employment for our creative youths and earn more forex for our country. More importantly, exporting our arts and crafts will be an important way of positively branding our country.
With 36 states, FCT and about 150 private exhibitors, the expo provides a platform for interaction and network for investment partners. Now I'm being joined in the studio by the Director General of the National Council for Arts and Culture, Otumba Olusegun Ronsewe, who is also the President, World Craft Council. Thank you, Otumba, for joining us this evening.
My pleasure to be here.
Good to see you.
Same here.
You've been quite busy lately.
Very, very busy.
All right, let's talk about the Arts and Craft Expo, which has just opened in Abuja. How will this contribute to the development of the Nigerian economy?
Well, thank you very much. Basically, we must understand that today, a new chapter has been opened in the interest of our great country, Nigeria. Coming together, networking the Nigerian content of art, craft, and culture to over 27 countries of the world is a new beginning. It gives a room for export. It gives a room for enlightening our people in terms of creating wealth through the creative industry. Today, a lot of countries, the ambassadors, the high commissioners could interact with the ordinary Nigerian person, how they can do business together, how they can take some of the items out. We're not talking of importing now. We're talking of exporting Nigerian craft all over the world. And our focus mainly is the youth and women.
I like the fact that you said that they are interacting with the ordinary Nigerian, which is the crux of development in the country. Now, how are you working with women and youth to get them involved in the process so that it's not just business as usual?
In fact, it will interest you to know that we're creating wealth through skill acquisition. We are training over 500 Nigerians in different aspects: tailoring, bead making, bag making, etc. We turn tires now to center table. So all these are free skill acquisition we're giving to Nigerians. We didn't stop there. We're also giving free medical because culture of good health is part of our responsibility. We're giving out over 250 medicated glasses to the ordinary man on the street. So these are part of us impacting on the people of this great country.
I want to thank you very much for carrying women and children along in this process, and we do hope that you follow it up to the letter and ensure that those who came in talking about international investors now will also take advantage of what we have in the country.
Yes. Let me quickly mention here that for the first time we're going to launch the International Cultural Diplomacy for Peace.
All right. Thank you very much, Olusegun Ronsewe, President, World Crafts Council and Director General of the National Council for Arts and Culture.
A pleasure.
Moving on now. President Muhammadu Buhari joins Nigerians in sending warm greetings to former President Goodluck Jonathan as he turns 61 on November 20th. President Buhari believes the life of the former president remains an inspiration to every young Nigerian of the possibilities that await anyone willing to learn, work hard, and participate in making the country great. The president congratulates Jonathan on the publishing of his memoir, My Transition Hours, which will be launched as part of ceremonies marking his birthday, encouraging Nigerians to follow same examples of sharing their experiences in writing. President Buhari praised that the Almighty God will strengthen Dr. Jonathan, grant him longer life, and bless his family. Similarly, President Muhammadu Buhari has also congratulated a one-time governor of Akwa Ibom State, Obong Victor Atta, on his 80th birthday. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, says President Buhari described Obong Victor Atta as an architect with versatile and global working experience. The president also commended the strategic thinking and planning of Obong Atta and his cabinet in shaping the infrastructural development of Akwa Ibom, making it a tourist destination in the country. The president affirms Atta's contribution to architectural development, especially when he served as president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. President Buhari prays for longer life, good health, and more wisdom for Obong Victor Atta to continue serving the country and humanity. Another octogenarian has received President Buhari's greetings. A former governor of Anambra State, Dr. Chukwuemeka Ezife, is 80, and President Buhari believes the former governor's investment in human capital and he's laying a strong foundation for a vibrant economy in Anambra State will be remembered and cherished by posterity. The president prayed for longer life, good health, and strength for Chief Ezife. It's time now to go over to Lagos Network Center, where Elizabeth Omorie is with more stories. Hello, Elizabeth.
It's nice to see you, Joy, and thanks for joining us in Lagos.
Four prosecution witnesses, all bankers, today told the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos how 1.219 billion naira siphoned from the coffers of the federal government in June 2014, evacuated from Akure Airport in Ondo State, was lodged into three company accounts and personal account of the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose. Viera Chumba reports that an attempt by the defense to seek adjournment for further hearing was turned down by Justice Mojisola Olatoregu.
Allegedly received by the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, to fund his gubernatorial election in 2014, a sum EFC said he ought to have known from part of process of corruption. Damola Otuyemo, a banker, gave vivid account of how the money was transported from Murtala Mohammed International Airport to Akure Airport. He said the money was signed for by the former Minister of State Defense, Musliu Obanikoro. Lawrence Akonde, another banker, told the court that he received a call from Ayo Fayose on the arrival of the money with instruction to receive it. Following the former governor's instruction, he contacted his colleagues, Alade Olusheye and Abiodu Osude, and arrangements involving the army, police, and security escort were made to receive the money in the company of Abanikoro. The money thereafter was lodged in three different accounts: the privatee, still held, and Spotless Limited, owned by Fayose. He, however, told the court that deposits were made by one Abiodu Agbele, a driver. Olaito Fajitito, a banker, also told the court how large sums of money were paid to 5 individuals from Silver Magmara, whose identities were waived in contravention of the bank ethics. On the cross-examination by the defense counsel, Olale Kojo, his testimony was controverted. On the contrary, the board of Silver Magmara appointed one Olaleko Ogunsheye as the sole signatory to the account. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
The federal government is addressing power challenges with a projection of 30% targeted increase and investment in renewable energy by 2030. Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, stated this at a forum in Lagos. Dotun Ogunyemi has details.
Global initiatives are reducing the dependence on fossil fuel such as wood, coal, as well as oil due to its environmental implications, with emphasis now being placed on renewable and clean energy, which currently provides about 30% of the world's energy needs.
Particularly in Nigeria, on fostering the development towards renewable energy sources. And that means specifically in moving industries, in moving communities off the diesel generator and move them towards solar energy.
The use of electric cars in recent times alone has reduced global oil demands by 1.3 million barrels per day. Renewable energy therefore poses great opportunity, and Nigerian geoscientists are discussing the gains of a diversified energy mix. Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, says for a country that created the Jeba, Shiroro and Kainji hydro dams, Nigeria has pursued renewable energy as far back as the 1980s.
I've spoken about Dadinkowa hydropower plant, which is 29 megawatt, Gurara, which is 30, Kashimbila hydro, which is 40, Zungeru, which is 700, and Mambila, which is 3,050. If you add all of this up, when they are delivered to the energy mix, we will meet the target if we do not even surpass it.
The energy policies of the federal government, including the National Energy Policy and the National Energy Master Plan, amongst others, is aimed at positioning Nigeria for the quest to deliver renewable and clean energy for national growth. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this time out. Stay with us.
Expressions without words won't have it any other way. Moments will feel joy. Been lost in the moment, the freedom you will find. That's what's celebrating. Bring your moment to life. Find your satisfaction in the nourishing trend and sparkling. Let's celebrate a little
joy in red grape, white grape, peach variants. Valletta sparkling fruit drink. Celebrate every moment.
Kehinde suffers from indigestion. His twin Taiyi suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around, or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
Your white fabrics glowing whiter. Your home sparkling and free from germs with Hypo. Make a dazzling impression every time and let your whites speak for you. Hypo. Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association. Now available in lime green.
Your perfect family is under threat by germs. Infectious diseases are now the world's biggest killer of adults and children. Every day, 16,000 children under the ages of 5 and thousands of adults die from infectious diseases. These infectious diseases are caused by germs. They are everywhere. An average human being comes in contact with over 1 million germs daily in unclean water, dirty surfaces, in the toilets, on cuts and wounds, on your clothes. Germs can cause deadly diseases like typhoid, diarrhea, flu, and cough. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's One Capful for surface cleaning in your bathing water, in your laundry water, for first aid to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol Sure, endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
Use Dettol Skin Jelly, which protects against germs for a healthy, smooth skin every day.
The National Assembly Service Commission hereby announces the timetable for induction and training programs for senior legislative aides and secretaries to senators and honorable members of the National Assembly. Theme: the legislature and sustainable development, the role of legislative aides in a developing legislature. Date: 21st and 22nd November 2018. Time: 8:30 a.m. daily. Venue: senior legislative aides, Top Rank Hotels Galaxy, Utako, Abuja. Secretaries: Sahabi International Hotel and Resource, off Kefi Road, Mararaba. Participants should come with your appointment letters and ID cards. Signed, Management.
Me got the sunshine in my life. Oh mama, I told you everything gonna be fine. Oh mama, dear mama, oh yeah.
Discover the all-new Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Lotion, specially formulated with Nivea's Deep Moisture Serum and Africa's natural cocoa for 48-hour deep moisture. Glowing, radiant skin with Nourishing Cocoa Lotion from Nivea.
In Nigeria, there is one sound we need to silence. So let's silence toothache before it starts with Oral-B All-Round Protection. Its advanced technology helps prevent both tooth holes and gum problems that can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your teeth, giving them all-round protection. Because the only sound we really want to hear is that of our future. For healthier, stronger teeth in 1 week.
We thank you for staying with us on NTA Network News. National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Comrade Adams Oshomole, has expressed confidence that Nigerians will return President Muhammadu Buhari to power in 2019. He stated this at the end of the National Working Committee meeting of the party in Abuja. Political correspondent Salihu Abdullahi reports.
Barely 24 hours after the commencement of campaign for presidential and National Assembly elections, National Secretariat of the governing All Progressives Congress has come a beehive. National Chairman of the party, Comrade Adams Oshomole, addressed the media at the end of a closed-door meeting.
I believe we are still ahead in terms of eternal peace. We reviewed the recent elections, and we are proud to be able to say that since the new National Working Committee was elected, we are proud that we have not lost any major election. We've done a rerun election in Katsina and we won twice. We did one on Saturday, we won again. We've had a rerun in Bauchi for Senate, we won. We did another rerun of House of Rep last Saturday, and again we won.
He said Nigerians have demonstrated that there is no alternative to APC, which has delivered good governance that is positively impacting on the lives of the people.
When you have to choose between two commodities, you are not choosing between two perfect commodities. You are going to choose between the one you have tasted for 60 years and got so sour that you have to kick it off, and the one that, you know, may not have all the sugar that you thought you need because of the processes, you know. And I'm very confident that Nigerians will return President Buhari to power and we will win more states than we won before.
The chairman urged security agencies to review their operations to safeguard lives and property during the campaign period and advised members to be law-abiding. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And from politics, we move to business. And Musa Abubakar is here with business news. So tell us, Musa, how did the week open at the stock exchange?
Okay, the stock market began the week with positive sentiment.
Very well.
Hello, a warm welcome to Business News. Nigeria has signed a $60 million agreement with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, to sustain efforts of government in rebuilding the economy. The new country program targets the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, especially Goal 9, which focuses on building resilient infrastructure, promoting inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and fostering innovation. The country program for inclusive and sustainable industrial development for 2018-2020 has 9 areas of focus designed to strengthen existing relationship between Nigeria and UNIDO. It is aligned to government's development strategies, including the Vision 2020, ERGP, Industrial Revolution Plan, and UNIDO's mandate on inclusive and sustainable industrial development. Of the $60 million expected to be spent during the course of the 2 years, Nigeria will pay 30% multilaterals and other donor agencies another 30%, while UNIDO funds the rest. Now turning to the capital market, the Nigerian Stock Exchange closed Monday's session on a positive. The All-Share Index gained 0.51% to close 32,222.24 basis points, while market capitalization advanced to 11.7 trillion naira. 148.1 million shares valued at 1.7 billion naira were traded in 2,853 deals. Well, that concludes the business segment. Back to you, Joy.
Thank you very much, Musa. Now, let's head over to Kaduna and join Abdullahi for reports from that zone. Hello, Abdullahi.
Hello, Joy, and good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in Kaduna. And we're beginning with a story from defense matters. Now, Nigeria Army says it has evolved a new synergy expected to coordinate its operations with a view to tackling various security challenges in the country. The Acting Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General John Agim, stated this while briefing journalists on military operations codenamed Operation Wild Punch in Kaduna and environs. Ibrahim Belagunda reports.
So far in this operation, 14 notorious bandits, cattle rustlers, and kidnappers have been neutralized.
Scorecard by the Acting Director Defense Information on Operation Wild Punch under Operation 777 being conducted by the Defense Headquarters 1 month after its commencement. Operation Wild Punch is a military operation charged with the responsibility of restoring normalcy along Kaduna-Abuja Highway, Birnin Gwari and its environs, and Niger State, which were before now bedeviled by activities of bandits, kidnappers, armed robbers, and cattle rustlers. Synergy among the security agencies in conducting raid, ambush, patrols, and air strikes on hideout of criminals, Brigadier General John Agim says, facilitated the success of the operation.
A total of 31 persons, which include 18 children and 13 adults, were rescued from kidnappers within the area of operation.
Brigadier General John says, though relative security has been restored to the affected areas, 2 soldiers were injured and are receiving treatment, while 2 vigilantes assisting troops in the operation lost their lives. In Kaduna, Ibrahim Bello Gunda, NTA News.
And Joy, you can now take over and continue network news. That report ends our contribution from here.
Thank you very much, Abdullahi. Another break beckons. Stay tuned.
It's an African one. Yeah. Whether you come here to break dance, you come here to shake hands, you come here to make plans. Never would it reach a motherland. Whether you come here to rock with me, I be not to find food, everything they ever would it reach a motherland. Anywhere you go, London, USA, nowhere be like Africa.
Nowhere be like home. Anywhere you go, New York, Chicago. Nowhere be like Africa. Nowhere be like home.
This festive season, there's no place like home. Get a GoTV decoder and GoTenna and 1 month of GoTV Max subscription for only 6,900 Naira. GoTV. Live it, love it.
Who am I? I'm a caregiver, a slayer, a boss lady, a foodie. I am the chief quality inspector and chief organizer. And when I'm cooking with my Maggie Star, I become a kitchen grand master.
Every day, you choose to make the difference. That's why you choose Maggie Star, made from natural soya beans and other carefully selected ingredients to help you cook the difference.
I am the chief enjoyment officer, and I'm the magnet that brings my family together. Need I say more? But best of all, I love what I do.
With Maggie, cook the difference.
Team huddle. But we lost. Don't be tired, guys. This isn't a loss. It's a practice for winning.
Nothing makes a mother prouder than seeing her child growing up. But I know as he learns to lead, he'll face even more dirt, germs, and risk of illness.
That's why in changing seasons, you need strong Dettol protection. Because Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Sports is next with Amaze Marcus.
President Muhammadu Buhari has offered to financially assist the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development for a successful hosting of the 19th National Sports Festival by the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Speaking after meeting with the President in Abuja on Monday, Sports Minister Solomon Dalung said the federal government needs to provide 1.2 billion naira.
And the President had graciously given his approval to our request if we will submit it in writing soonest.
The sports minister appealed for quick passage of the anti-doping bill by the National Assembly, especially now that Nigeria has been given 21 days by the World Anti-Doping Agency to comply with its regulations. Meanwhile, organizers of the National Sports Festival have been working hard towards ensuring success during the Games.
We have achieved a lot. We had a timeline, and we are running through it, and we are still on point with our timeline, so everything is still okay.
Delegates registration meeting commenced last week as states registered their athletes and officials. The 19th National Sports Festival holds from December 6 to 16 after several postponements over the years.
And that's Network News. Thanks for staying with us.